welcome to a very, very special episode of The Rake. We have our co-host here. We haven't talked too much about him, but it is a very special day here for our co-host, Crouton. It is his birthday.
Yeah, he is 4 years old today in dog years. He is 28 in people years, so he really shouldn't be licking his junk in public as much now that he's a 28-year-old. We've lined up his presents. He hand-selected these. He got this weird ass donkey that looks like a donkey snake. Has something Christmas oriented written on it. I don't know what these toy makers were going for, but he has surgically removed every squeaker from it and is now spitting the entrails all over the futon.
And working on the stuffing.
Yeah. He also picked this, which I totally support. Release the Rage. It's the Hulk fist. It's pretty sturdy. He's been trying.
Wow.
Yeah.
Solid work.
Yeah, so just wanted to give Crouton a shout out because pretty much if we ever read the comments, like 90% of them are about Crouton, which is totally understandable.
Totally. So tell us a little bit about Crouton's backstory.
Sure.
How it came to be.
Sure. He is from the Hood in Atlantic City. He was picked up as a puppy. We don't know what happened to his mom. Mm-hmm. Him and two siblings ended up at the Humane Society of Atlantic City. So we were looking for a dog for a while and put in applications for a couple and just like hadn't heard back. Mm-hmm. And we went to the Humane Society after, this is crazy because I put in like a 10 a.m. session at Borgata. Yeah. I can't remember the last time I played like a morning session. I just felt like going and won some money and I was like, okay, I've done enough for the day. I'm a real go-getter. It's like 2 p.m. So I called Chris. I was like, I kind of want to stop at Humane Society on the way home and just see if they've got any puppies in. So he meets me there. There are no puppies. And on the way, he's like, puppy, I know that word.
Puppy.
On the way out, I was like, oh, can we just go look in the kitten room? Because like you, I'm a bit of a crazy cat lady. So we go into the room with the kittens and Crouton is just stumbling around drunk. Like he had just gotten neutered that day and was on all the drugs. So they didn't put him back with the dogs who are like super loud. They put him in the kitten room to just like wander around and get sober. And I asked the lady, I was like, he's definitely adopted already, right? I'm like, there's no way this dog is like up for adoption. So she goes, today's his first day up for adoption. Do you want him? We're like, oh my God. So we fill it out right away and we brought him home the next day.
Oh, and it was love at first sight.
Yep.
Oh, now he's here in Vegas.
Yeah. To tie it into poker a bit, anytime I win money, I send it to this. So I'm repping Crouton pretty hard. Sergeant Pepper's Friends, which is this charity in Aruba that takes dogs that are going to be euthanized and adopts them instead, fosters them, and tries to ship them to the U.S. So if you ever want a very cute puppy, they have an Instagram that literally is like everyday puppies. Just every single day, I'm like, I want that one. I want that one. They do a really good job of social media of like making people aware. And if you're in the U.S., you could put an application for one of them, and people will travel to Aruba on vacation and then transport the puppy home to be sent to you.
Oh, yeah, they just like they've just like an over problem, too many
wild dogs everywhere, pregnant dogs everywhere. Yeah, Aruba has like a really big problem, so they're trying their best.
All right, so if you need a dog. We'll put the info.
Who doesn't need a dog?
Yeah, I need a dog. Honestly, I just travel too much. But also shout out to Chauncey while we're talking about our
Chauncey
babies.
rules. If there is some way that Chauncey and Crouton could both be on the futon.
Yeah.
Maybe when they're like old, decrepit animals. They're like, this is like, okay, guys, it's year 10 of the podcast. And like Crouton and Chauncey are just like blind and deaf and they don't even know they're sitting next to each other.
I mean, Chauncey's just kind of like a jerk that he probably wouldn't ever go for that. But we're going to get him on at some point. Some of you have requested in the comments to have a Chauncey episode. And, you know, he's always in my vlog. So we will make that happen for you.
Yeah, my favorite. So you're taking a trip today.
Yes, I'm leaving tonight to go to London. I'm going to see my main squeeze over there. And then...
Who's that? Is it the guy whose shirt you're wearing?
Yeah. Shout out to Spraggy Showers. You know, the best streamer, most electrifying streamer. Well, I don't know. Lex is pretty good. Finton's pretty good.
Oh my God. If Spraggy hears this... He's gonna be pissed. But
a
also,
lot of
like,
good
as
ones.
a tag team, we're crushing him. Like, on Twitter, I'm just like ruthless with
I know.
Spraggy. So I'm like, what can you do? Like, you're dating Marle, you can't really get in a fight with me.
Yeah,
so I'm just like, I just
exactly.
say what I want.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, I love that that Jamie just like took total like needling, like she's like, okay, fair game,
Yep.
and here we go. Yeah, she's put some pretty funny responses to Spraggy this week. Shout out to Spraggy. So I'll be with Spraggy for like a week, just hanging out, and then I'm gonna be going to the 888 live main event, doing a little bit of content over there and documenting me playing a tournament.
Yeah,
so
dude, I'm telling
we'll
you,
see.
like, it's so hard once you go to the dark side.
I know, and I'm just trying to pick the like good one, the fun ones. There's gonna be a lot of like cool people there, you know, that I know, and obviously in London, so it never hurts. So
Crouton is doing work.
I think he's showing off a little bit.
Yeah,
he's like,
so too.
oh, look at my new toy. Look at my new toy.
I think it's cool. I think for cash players, especially, like, you've played nosebleeds in cash, but I think most people who play cash, especially like on their own money starting off, are playing pretty reasonable stakes.
Yeah.
And you don't have that feeling like, oh, glory and leveling up. Like, if you're playing 1, 2, and 2, 5, like, you're going to be playing it for a while before you like make enough money to move up. And tournaments give you that chance that you're like, well, you know, maybe I'll win $100,000 and then I could take a shot when the game looks good at 5-10.
Yeah.
You don't get that otherwise. So I think it's cool. I think it's good to, like, once in a while, you know, go out on a limb, play something you're not used to, and you might run good.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, you know, I'm no tournament player. I'm awful. Like awful. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I can't seem to make it happen. But yeah, I'm gonna, you know, just pick the good ones and fire here and there, and you never know. You never know what's gonna happen. So I will let you guys know, and I'm gonna be filming a lot of content over there, and I'm also gonna be on Spraggy's stream on YouTube. So Twitch/Spraggy, Spraggy.tv. Look for Marley. I will be on there. And making some guest appearances.
Like, all right, for the people watching on YouTube right now, like, half of them are like, what is a Spraggy?
Spraggy is just a poker player. Ben Spragg is his name. He goes by Spraggy online. And he is a Twitch streamer and plays tournaments online. So 2 thumbs down. Sorry.
Poor Spraggy.
But no, he's a good guy. And yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of tournaments, there was a huge tournament that we both watched a bunch of yesterday. There was a super high roller bowl, another one. So when they first had the $300,000 super high roller bowl in Aria, I was like, whoa, this is getting to the point where it's like sick. You're buying in with the house, a nice house.
Yeah.
And there were still just a ton of players. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. I hope they run one of these every few years. I didn't think it was even possible that we'd be seeing $1 million buy-in and then multiple super high roller bowls, like 3 or 4 in 2 years.
Yeah.
But they ran another one yesterday. Party put it on in Bahamas in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
250K buy-in. And if you guys are watching the Run It Once training, 3 Run It Once
Pretty crazy
players made the final table, which is actually pretty crazy. The fact that 3 made it, because these are the best players in the world.
Yeah.
And the field is just incredibly tough. There might have only been like 2 or 3 rec players in the whole, and like not even rec players, like extremely rich business people who play a lot of poker.
Exactly. No, yeah, it's really impressive. And, you know, a lot of these guys, you know, they play all the Tritons. Of course, I've hosted 2 Triton events. They all were repping the gear. I saw it too. And, like, it's just cool to see these guys just running deep every time. Of course, Daniel Dvoress was the champion. He's awesome. You know, I don't know him personally, but I've, you know, interviewed him several times. And he's just, like, always, like, the most, like, answer any question, always, like, happy to talk. And people think he's kind of an unknown, but he has been, he's just so...
He's a quiet person, so I kind of think, at the tables at least. So
Yeah.
I feel like people are just like, oh, he's an unknown, because they're not paying as much attention to him at the table.
Yeah.
And like when you're watching a super high roller bowl, he's the guy who's just like quietly amassing chips. He's not flashy. Like, if Bryn Kenny went, people are like, oh my God, Bryn's so sick. And like, I kind of feel like Dvoress is kind of chilling. Like he might even prefer just quietly winning, taking down $4 million and just chilling.
Yeah. No, I mean, he obviously crushed. There was a few really big key hands. The set of 3s hand versus Chan was really, I'm sorry, what am I saying? Set of threes hand versus Seidel was really pivotal, where Seidel called off with top pair for 99% of his stack, and Dvoress moved into the lead. But he stayed patient. He really performed and had to hit some cards, of course. But second of all, obviously Jason Koon, awesome run, final table, long time run at once pro. And Seth Davies.
Seth Davies, who apparently has a nickname, Shark Darvis. I don't know how you get a nickname like that, but I would like one. I don't have any cool nicknames in
Never
poker.
heard that.
Yeah, Brent Hanks might have made it up and just said it so many times that I was like, okay, Shark Darvis. Yeah, it sounds
With Brent, you never know. Brent is the poker commentator for Poker Go, and he is hilarious. Yeah. And seriously, so dry that you honestly never know when he's joking. Yeah. But Seth Davies also final tabled, just had nothing going on the whole day, but another great run. And then also the star of the show, I'm going to butcher, how do you say her last
Kathy
name?
Laney.
Laney, okay, yeah. She is a businesswoman from Texas, worth $300+ million, self-made, in oil, started her own company at 23, and it's just been beasting ever since. Has played poker forever. Hendon Mom goes all the way back to 2007. But this is her biggest score by far, and the only woman to cash in the super high roller.
I think she might be the only woman to ever play it. Because I couldn't think of another woman who played. Lauren Roberts was in the streets for a while, of high rollers and stuff. I don't think she bought into the 300K. And then this one's a 250K. I mean, that's
pretty
expensive.
Sick.
It's kind of crazy because when they're playing final table, I was like, this doesn't seem real to me.
Yeah.
Like when people are winning pots back and forth, it sunk in when I was like, oh, that pot's probably worth like 200K. Actual real dollars. And it was like a 3 big blind pot.
It's so sick.
Really nuts.
And she holds her own. I mean, she just has great instincts. She made a couple of really sick plays, and in the end got third, got knocked out in a really sick way with aces. All in pre versus sixes, and he rivered a 6 in the most dirty way possible. But I thought she played great, honestly, and hope to see her more.
Yeah, I was hoping for a Dvoress versus Laney heads up match. It's funny too because people try to engage with Laney a little bit, and she's not having it. She does like a little smile and then is like back to work. Yeah, where I kind of think like if I were in that spot, I would be so. I don't know, like if some like elite player is like, hey, wanting to joke around, I would probably give in because you're just like, this is cool.
Oh,
like,
yeah, except me. I'm in the cool table.
She's not the person who's like, I'm in it for the experience. Like, she's definitely very competitive and she was very focused.
Yeah, for sure. And she, did a great job. So that was awesome to watch. And, of course, $4 million for Dvoress and climbing the ranks himself in the, top earners. And we're going to continue to see a good show from him. Yeah,
interestingly enough, if Brent was accurate in his commentary, he said that Dvoress only had one live win before, and it was a 6-handed 25K tournament for 73K. What? So he had not had like a big live win at all. Like he still amassed like 11 million in earnings or something like that before this $4 million score. But he did it the hard way. He was doing it in like small increments, and he was primarily an online guy, so that always explains it. Sometimes I look at a bio when I'm doing commentary, and I'm like, is this guy new to poker? And then I go to find their screen name. I do a little bit of research, and I'm like, oh, wait, this guy has 17 million in online earnings. Never mind.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's so many people that you feel like just started. I'm the same because I've never played online, so I see people, and I'm like, oh, who is this? Like Chris Crack. Who is that?
Yeah. Meanwhile, it's like the reason they're not like high up in the live earnings is because they're winning like 3 times that amount online in their underwear.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Which is preferable, I would think.
Awesome. So,
yeah. I think we'll come back.
Yeah.
For the next segment.
Short break. Now seems like a good time to thank our sponsors. A big shout out to Run It Once Poker, the brand new and awesome place to play online. They really care about the players, and although we haven't played because we are here in the United States, we've been hearing very good things and have checked out some of the videos of the gameplay on this channel, and looks pretty cool.
You can sign up right now through once.run/play and receive a 100% deposit bonus up to €600, along with a 51% rake back they give through their in-game reward system, Splash the Pot. and to run it once training, which you can play all over the world, including in the US. It's the best place to learn poker from players much better than us. You can sign up through once.run/learn. You'll get access to 3 free elite videos, so check it out today. We're back for our second segment, and this one I'm pretty hype about, mostly because Marle started telling me a story.
I did. I put it on Twitter.
I hit you up instantly. I was like, oh my God. All right, so
tell me more.
She put a tweet out about being scammed by a fake IRS where she sent some money. And I messaged you about it. I'm like, hey, you got to tell me all the details. Then I'm like, wait, don't tell me the details. I was like, I want to have pure reaction on the pod. I was like, so I'm hearing the story along with you guys, and I'm very excited.
Yeah, so I've talked about this a little bit on my vlog and stuff, but yeah, this was actually my first year playing full time, maybe 3 years ago now, and I just quit my job maybe 8 months prior, waiting tables, and just like a struggling 1-3 player and whatever, and I was on a stake. And I literally, just for 6 months maybe, just couldn't win. And, it was super, super broke. And finally, I went a little run at the Golden Nugget 1-2 and made...
Oh, wow. If you're playing the Golden Nugget 1-2.
Yeah.
No bueno.
Really? No,
I'm saying when you're playing there, you're just like, this is not how I envision my life going.
Oh no, it's pretty depressing. I mean, it's just like an old school poker room, but yeah, every day in there, just downtown in general, you're not going to get the best quality of people overall. But juicy games. Also, shout out to Golden Nugget because cash still plays. It's uncapped.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. It's uncapped and it's people buying deep, and it just gets wild on the weekends too, especially. And I went on a little run, made $8,000 in a month.
Wow, that's pretty good for 1-2. That's really good.
Yeah, I mean uncapped, so it is a little deceiving. But yeah, and so I had $4,000 for myself because I was in a stake, and I was so excited. Like I finally had money, and then this happened. So I had a few years prior, living in New York, and at the time I was doing a lot of commercials and random stuff, and so I had kind of confusing taxes, but stupid me, I was like, whatever, how much should I do on TurboTax and whatever. Mm-hmm. So I do my taxes, and then a couple of years later, when I'm in Vegas, I'm getting these letters from the IRS being like, oh, hey, there's discrepancy from 2015, which obviously was at this point it was 2 years before, and I'm like, I don't even know. I don't have any paperwork. I don't. Mm-hmm. So I just start ignoring the letters, and they're going to my dad because my dad was living here, and my dad's getting these letters, and he's starting to freak out on me, being like, "Yo, I mean, it's not that much money. It's $2,000, but I'm just at the time it was a lot of money to me. Mm-hmm. I mean, it still is. It's a lot of money, but I was just super dumb and young. I was 23, 24. And so anyways, I was just whatever. It's been going on for a year. He was just getting these letters all the time being like, you owe us money. And when this scam happened, he had just gotten a letter and called me and gave me a lecture about you don't fuck with the IRS. You don't, that's the one person you don't fuck with. It's serious, blah, blah, blah. And then the fucking God's gift to fucking earth that it was, I get this fucking scam call right then. No. And it was just the perfect storm in every way. I was at home alone. I had lived with my ex-boyfriend, and we had roommates and stuff, and I was just alone at home. I had a bunch of cash on me because usually I would just put it in my box or the bank or whatever, but I, for whatever reason, had a bunch of cash on me and got this call and just started going into, I can't describe, a full-on panic, crying, pacing around, for an hour on the phone at home, just freaking out, thinking I'm going to go to jail. Just no. Wasn't thinking.
How did they set it up? So you set the scene for why you were vulnerable at the time, which right. Makes sense, especially when you have your dad who's he's just I told you one thing, and it was not to mess this one thing up, and right. You feel like you're screwing up. But how did they set the scene for you?
They really just I mean, again, the fact that they're calling me should have been a fucking red. Obviously, they would never call me, but for whatever.
Hey, Marles, it's the IRS. How's it going? What you thinking about?
Red flag. But no, they just take it. So they were oh, so yeah, we see this discrepancy, and they knew the year. It was the same year, and it was the same amount.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah. So they were like, okay, you owe us $2,000 from 2015, blah, 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 whatever. And we're just seeing here, you know, it's been this long and whatever. And just kind of like, I don't know. I honestly like blacked out that I was freaking out so much. And I ended up driving to Walmart and getting Walmart gift cards.
No.
And giving them the info. Oh, but that's my friend. And then, but like I'm a poker player, right? So like I literally just like had, oh, they wanted $2,000. Oh no. I had like a gajillion dollars on me. So I went back out to the car and like, oh, we saw that it's actually 4,000 more. So I went back in.
No way.
Yeah, and give them 4,000 more.
Wait, so how did it work? You bought the Walmart gift cards. How did they get them? Like,
you just read them the info on the back, like the tracking number.
No, they were like, oh, we got this fish on the line.
Dude.
They're like, actually, it's 4K more. When you pay the 4K, they're like, actually, it's 10K more. Are they like the greediest people on earth?
Yeah. Actually, so no, they didn't do that because I don't know, they thought it would be too fishy, but they stayed on the phone with me. Mm-hmm. And then at this point, I went home and people were at my house and they were like, what do you, like, they saw that I was hysterical, like, just like bawling hysterical, like a fucking train wreck. And they were like, my boyfriend's, our roommate was there and he was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, get off the phone, like what's going on? And I was just telling him kind of like, and that was the thing too, they were like, don't tell anybody, don't get off the phone with us, blah blah blah. And I was like just like panicking.
Oh my god.
Panicking. And then of course, like when he was like, he literally took the phone and he was like, you're hanging up, like what is going on? And then he was like, oh, that's a scam, like 100%. And then of course my dad was living in Vegas and my dad came over and my boyfriend came home and like it was like sweet because they were so like nice in the moment. And my dad was like, I got scammed once, like, and it was like a small little thing, like it wasn't even really a scam. And I was like, that's not even the fucking same, like, and my boyfriend's like, it's okay, like whatever. So I had taken all my money and like a couple thousand from stake money too.
Yeah, then you like are negative 2K after having a winning month.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And yeah, and at the time it was like I literally couldn't get out of bed for a week, and I was just so upset, obviously, and was just so like, and then and the best part too was then like. So yeah, they kept calling me back, right? And then they knew that I knew, and they were just like trolling me over the phone, like just like being like,
why? Just to be nasty?
Yeah, because they knew that I knew at that point, nothing I could do, and so they kept calling me back, and of course I was like, don't call me anymore. Like, of course I was like, and they were just like, fuck you, like blah blah, blah. And all stuff like basically like troll, like taunting me, and I was like. Anyways, but it was very stupid.
Dude, that's like sociopath behavior.
Yeah.
Because you got what you wanted, you're not getting any more. They just want to make you feel bad about getting got.
Yeah.
What the hell is wrong with these people?
They're fucking trolls. Fuck you, fake IRS. But it was fine. I actually like... Yeah, I cried for like a week, and then like it became like a running joke in our friend group of like anytime there was like a scammy thing, they'd be like, Marle, don't fall for it. Like they put it in our group chat and be like, it's like Nigerian prince, and they're like, Marle, don't fall for it. Like,
oh my god.
So yeah, it was fine. And honestly, like now I'm just so paranoid about every little thing. I'm like, he's trying to rip me off. I'm like, so I mean.
Hey, it could save you money in the long run.
Knock on wood, it hasn't
You're not
happened
going to be in poker.
since.
There have been some very interesting scams.
Yeah.
But you're not going to fall for them. Like, seriously, there's people who like pretended to play a tournament and they didn't. You're the person who's like, I invested $500. Where's the receipt?
No, I know.
Like you're not getting scammed by these people anymore. So perhaps in the long run, as you like climb up in stakes and like you deal with people with lots of money, you're not going to get scammed for more than 6K.
Yeah.
Like, you won't.
No, I'm like very, very overly cautious now because I mean, and like to a fault, I'm always like, he's trying to rip me off. But
Walmart gift cards.
Dude, the best right now. And you know what's upsetting is that when I was buying the gift cards, the fucking cashier
said nothing about it. They're just like, oh, you just love Walmart. Okay, like 6K in gift cards.
Because you can't put that much on each one, so I had to buy like a jillion of them.
And they just thought this is normal?
How could they think it was? I mean, like, it was just, I mean, obviously it's not their responsibility to speak out, but like, dude, and of course and also you can see how I'm acting. It's not like I'm like buying for grandma, like, oh, Christmas just around the corner.
You're in like a total frenzy, and they're like, man, she just really wants to get this Christmas shopping out of the way. They're like, it's October, relax.
Dude, it is classic. And, obviously, and also as an aside, my backer is like still to this day one of my good friends, and like it all worked out. I actually went on a little bit of a heater like soon after that, but I mean, it was fine. It was like a couple $1,000s, but like it was idiotic, and definitely a punt. My biggest punt, I would say, poker or life.
What would you change? The main thing, obviously you're not going to get scammed like this again, but would it be just to like sleep on it a day, or like consult your dad or other people,
call
or what?
somebody? Like anytime anything happens now, whether it's like registering my car at the DMV or actually the other day my car broke down or whatever, like before I like call a tow truck or like whatever, I call like 8 people, and I'm like, that was one of the things they were like, don't tell anybody. And I also like didn't, especially my dad, did not want to tell my dad, because I just knew he was going to be so fucking upset and would just start screaming like about it. So I was just so embarrassed that like it escalated to this point where I was like going to jail for my back taxes, my tax evasion or whatever. And now I've also realized like the IRS is not going to like put you in jail for like $2,000 back taxes. Like,
and they're probably like a way slower moving process than that. They're like, not going to call you one day and be like, wake up, Marley, we're taking you to jail right now.
So if you're, I mean, no one's as dumb as me, but like if you, I mean, honestly, like I was just like in a fucking like panic.
They like made you into a frenzy. Like that's where you can't even call or like ask anyone for help. And they're like, if you hang up, they're gonna immediately put you in jail. Like how do they like? These people are nuts.
It was a perfect storm. Like if I didn't have money on me, I'd have to like find a way to get it. Like
you would have to talk to people to borrow or whatever, and like
and so it was kind of like the perfect situation. And you know what? India is a little bit richer. That is the moral of the story. You had a very less embarrassing small scam.
Just more like
story.
An annoying thing.
Yeah.
This was like my first foray into like trying to do some good in the poker community, and I just like immediately got smacked in the face. It was right after the earthquake in Haiti, and there were a bunch of relief efforts going on, and it was about to be the Borgata series. And I had a bunch of friends playing it, so I was like, hey guys, let's all pledge 2% of our winnings, because Full Tilt Poker at the time, Stars also had this, but I went through Full Tilt for whatever reason. I played more on there at the time. They had a match program where if you donate money, they'll match it and donate it as well. You just like deposit it into whatever their thing. And I had no reason at the time to ever doubt that this was going to the right place. Like we didn't know this company was like insolvent, that they were paying their pros $300K a month, and that they didn't have player funds segregated from whatever else, their operational costs. So I just organized this thing, and we donated a lot of money. Like people did well in the series, and I think we might have put $4K or something like that into this Full Tilt relief fund. And Full Tilt was supposed to match the $4K and send it in, and we got no documentation back. And then the company folded a few months later. I think it was maybe a year later or something like that. But it just makes me feel very stupid, because it didn't even occur to me that I'm not going to get any kind of like receipt or something like that. I was just like, oh yeah, people are raising money for charity. That's a good thing. Like, let's all individually donate through Full Tilt. So yeah, I don't know if that ever went there. I don't know. It's like very strange, because now I'll like either go through Rake charity that Liv Bourret started, because it's trustworthy in my opinion. A lot of Run It Once pros are also involved. But
for those who don't know, Rake is Raising for Effective Giving by Liv Bourret and Igor Kurganov. Very good charity, raises hundreds of thousands of dollars from poker players.
And they do the research, so they'll do it for you. If you're ever like, I kind of want to give back, I don't know where to give it to, they research these charities on their own and see how much, how many cents per dollar actually goes directly to the charity instead of operational costs. So so there's better ways to do it. I just didn't know, and I just like want to do something good, and I was kind of a fish, and I probably donated money and like encouraged my friends to donate money into the ocean. So, I mean, we didn't do it through Walmart gift cards, but if that's how they told me to do it, I would have.
Dude, I'll never live that down. And honestly, like, it's okay. I mean,
it's okay. It's
shit
like very
happens.
awesome that you're willing to tell the story, because I feel like this is something where like it would hurt my pride, and I would just be like, that didn't happen to me. Like, I'd be telling the story, be like, yeah, I had this friend this happened to.
I mean, here's my thing. If it happens again,
Yeah.
then you know what? Gotta get a mental defect. But all right. So on that note, we told our punts, and we're gonna do our first punt from like a pod watcher sent to us from somebody who clearly also has watched my vlog, and that's one of the reasons why I liked this hand, because he mentions face equity, which is something I talk about in my vlog.
Do you have it too? I've only seen like a few of your vlogs. The face equity thing, is it just that like someone has a punchable face, they get paid off more?
Yes.
Yeah, I have I have that fuck that guy. Well, I'll be like, fuck this guy. And then I just
you want
him.
to own them. Yeah. Fuck that guy, and he does get fucked himself. But I appreciate this is from Matthew, and I very interesting hand. Sorry. So this is in a 1-2 game. He has $110 behind. There's 3 limpers to him on the button, and he has Jack 7 of clubs and limps himself. Blinds call as well. Flop is Jack 7, Ace Jack 7, rainbow. Checks to me, he puts $5 into 10, and a zillion people. Only the low jack check calls. He tells me a little bit about the player profile. He has him covered, but only has $200. Turn pairs the jack, so he now has top boat, and he checks. Matthew bets $15 into 20, and he's saying, "Should I shove here?" And I would say probably not. You have the board pretty crippled here. Seems like a pretty good bet. And he calls, and the river is the worst card in the deck, an ace, and the low jack checks, and he bets 30 for some thin value, which is okay. And he instantly shoves, and Matthew talks himself into a call, which, of course, 1-2 people under bluff. He did say the guy had face equity. I understand that. I understand that you really hate people who have a punchable face.
Yeah. And
you want to beat them, but sometimes the best way to beat them is to fold. And, that is a pretty epic punt. It's not as epic as my punt. Honestly, you didn't pay him in a Walmart gift card, so you're good on that.
Yeah, that could be one where you just pretend you got it all in on the turn and got horribly bad beat.
Exactly.
Like, when you tell your friends and your backer, you're just like, listen, man, there's nothing I could do. Got it all in on the turn. And someone's like, he's like, wait a second, my friend is at your table. Like, different hand.
Dude, that's so funny. Like, how many poker... honestly, like, I feel like we've all fudged hands, obviously, telling them to people that we care about. Like, you don't do it on purpose, but like every once in a while you're like, it went on the turn.
I feel like I fudge it in a different way, where I'm like, I'm not lying about like how all the money got in or anything, or about the board texture or anything. Right. But I find myself being like, tightest man in the history of the world 3-bet me, and I had kings, and I just thought, I should just flat here because he's the oldest man who always has aces, and you're like telling people why you played a hand bad, right? And then I'll be like, craziest motherfucker you've ever met sits down, he's got all these like hand tattoos, he's like, teardrops on his face, like all this stuff, and like you set the scene like that, so that people are like, I wouldn't have folded to him either. Like, people do that, and I feel like there's this like subconscious thing going on where you're like, tell me the thing I did that I know is bad wasn't that bad. For sure. Or like making up why you did things at like in hindsight, like, oh well, like, I just felt like my image at the table was really loose, and he caught on. Just going down the fucking rabbit hole of all these like random explanations. But this is why it's good to have people like Chris Kruk, or like if I send him a hand, he's like, don't care, give me the hand history.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it really is just like, let's figure out what like the baseline should be, and then if there's some crazy reason why you did something different from your baseline way you play the hand, like maybe we'll consider it, but it probably doesn't matter. That's
why online is so great, and I obviously have next to no experience with it, but it's just so much less about all the other bullshit. So I feel like because you're just focusing on just like right, wrong, and you're just like doing it over and over again, you don't even get bogged down in that, and you're just training your mind to do that. And I don't think that way. So I like the reads. I like the live poker.
Gotcha.
All right, y'all. wraps it up for this episode. We'll be back next week with another episode of The Rake. And
happy birthday, Crouton.
Happy birthday, Crouton. Bye, guys.